Hello, it's Rebecca at Keystone RV Center. I'm going to do another orientation today for a customer who's not able to come in person. We are delivering this down south, hopefully within the next week or so. So today we're going over the 2025 3550 BH Forest River Sierra. All right, so up front here, we don't have a whole lot going on. In your compartment up here, you've got your battery there. You have an override tool here, and I'll show you what that goes to. Up here, we have your leveling system with the fuses. If your leveling system is acting kind of wonky, it's not moving the way you think it should, come and check this. Be sure the fuses are okay, but also make sure that it's screwed up in there the right way. If it falls, it's going to read as it is fallen. I don't know if that makes any sense or not, but just check it. That would be one of the first things to check if your leveling system's acting kind of weird. So moving out here, the switch right there does the lights on your front cap. Moving around, we do have all the important information about the camper. You are 43 feet 6 inches from hitch to the back, so just keep that in mind when you're booking your spots. This is a pretty large camper here. In the first compartment here on the side is all of your water systems. So if you look at this, is kind of a guide for you. Right now we are set to dry camping because I've got water in your fresh tank, just to show you that some stuff works. So we first power filled the tank and then we put it in the dry camping mode. Most people with a camper like this are going to be here on the city water. So just turn your valves here into that position. Then you have your winterization, and if you want to just siphon to sanitize your tank via the pump, that's how you would put your valves. Down here is the city water port. This is also how you're going to fill your fresh tank. Okay. You have an outside shower here, hot and cold running water. Over here, you have a black tank flush. This is going to be to your half bath back in the bunk room. And the other black tank flush here is for your main bathroom. That also goes for this. Your black and your gray, this is for your main bathroom up front. And of course, you've got your water filtration system. We didn't drop the filter in. We don't know when you're going to use this next, so we left it out of there. You can pull all of your hoses through here so that you'll still be able to shut this door. And you have a little light switch here to turn the compartment door light off. All right, I've drained all the water off except for what's left in the fresh tank, and when I'm done today I will drain that as well, so when you get the camper there's not going to be any water on board. All right, and moving around, we have your pass-through storage. It's pretty big. This light right here is already set for motion detect. So anytime you have a light like this, you're going to have 2 lines and 1 line. The 2 lines is your motion detect. The 1 line, it just stays on. And of course you can put it in the center just to have it off. So I always put them in the motion detect mode for you. Down here is your auto level. This is the one thing that most people get hung up on. They're afraid this is going to be something that they can't figure out, when in the truth is, this is actually the easiest part of the whole thing. You're just going to turn it on, and that's your home screen. The ready screen is your home screen. What I did when it first came out here, I plugged it in, and then I came out here, I turned this on, and then I hit auto level. I did that before I pulled the steps down, before I pulled any of the slides out, before I did anything. Go ahead and let it level. Whenever you get this at your house, as soon as they get it off their truck and it's in the spot you're going to put it in, hit auto level first thing. That way you can level it up. If you want to tweak it a little bit after the slides are out, you can. But the slide outs really don't like doing all the twists and turns it does for leveling. That's why we do it while they're in. Your next screen, if you go over here and scroll down, that is your auto hitch, and then you would enter to begin. It'll go in the last place that it was hitched up at. It'll bring all the leveling in the front up and lower the front or raise, whichever one it needed to do. It'll raise or lower the front, the last place it hitched up at. Next screen would be retract all. And that's exactly what it does. It retracts all the leveling in the front and in the back. What that means is if the front auto retracts, those legs are going to go all the way up into the camper, and the nose of this is going to go all the way down. That freaks a lot of people out. They are afraid, something's bad's going to happen because the nose of their trailer's going all the way down. It's okay, all right? It's also kind of a good reset, but you can also hit auto retract all after it's hooked to the truck that is towing it. You can hit that and it will bring the front landing gear up, and you can walk around. You can, plug your 7-way in, make sure the doors are locked, all that kind of stuff, while the leveling on the front, the landing gear, is retracting. The next thing you have is just to retract the rear. It leaves the front alone. And then manual level, you can level front to back, left to right, if you need to do them one at a time. You're not going to need to use that very often unless you're in a really tight, weird spot. And then back to your home screen. And that's it. Getting it on and off of a vehicle, it's on a sticker right here on the wall. It tells you how to do it. That's what most people will use the most, is getting it on and off of a truck. And then, of course, the auto level. Up here, you have your solar controller. It's a 30 amp solar controller. There's really nothing here for you to do. I'm actually going to reset this when I'm done with the video to set it to a wet battery, because it's going to say flooded. You have a wet battery on the front. It's an Interstate battery. It holds a 1-year warranty on it through Interstate. So if anything were to happen, you could take it anywhere that sells Interstate and exchange it if you needed to. You do need to pop the caps on the top of your battery and check the water level every now and again. If you don't see water, distilled water is what you're going to put in there. All right, but right now the solar's not doing anything because we're plugged in. When we unplug, the job of the solar is going to be to trickle charge the battery if the camper's not in use, or to try and maintain the charge on the battery if it is in use. Your inverter that runs your refrigerator on battery it's going to drain your battery in about 2 days time because of the size of it. So just know that could potentially happen. Solar is not the savior when it comes to power, especially when you've got a residential refrigerator. All right, but I am going to change this. It's going to say flooded when you get it. So that's the type of battery. The only time you ever need to mess with this solar controller is if you do change off to a different type of battery. You just need to let the controller know what kind of battery it's charging. All right? Okay. Right here, we have your tankless water heater. We love these things around here. So right here is the on and off switch for it. It's on right now. And as you can see, nothing is happening right now. Nothing's going to happen until somebody turns on the hot water. Once someone turns on the hot water, this thing kicks into gear. It'll have the water will go through it, a fan will come on, and then it'll fire up. The copper coils back here are being superheated to deliver that water to you instantly. Now, I think from where we're standing here, your quickest place is going to be the bathroom because it's right above here. So it'll go to your bathroom pretty quick. It's going to take a few more minutes, another minute or whatever to get to your kitchen and then on to the half bath in the bunk room. The control thing here says maximum and minimum. That is to determine the flow of water. That's not heat. So if the water is too much, if it's too fast going through there, you can bump it back a little bit so it's not quite so fast going through those coils. You got to give it a chance to heat up. If it's going too fast, it won't be able to keep up with how fast the water's going through. So you can just slow it down. Right here is the relief valve. So if you have some pressure build up, it's going to release that pressure. If you see water coming out of here every now and again, that's very normal. It's not normal if it's all the time. The only real exception to that would be if you're in higher elevations, if you're up in the mountains, places like that. This is going to happen more often. It's going to build up pressure more often when you're in the higher elevations. But other than that, that's about it on this that you need to do out here. You have the control module for this inside because you can control how hot this gets. If I'm not mistaken, this gets up to 124 degrees. That's pretty hot. This one in particular has the 60,000 BTU. So what that means to you is if somebody's taking a shower, it's very possible that somebody else could be in the kitchen running the sink and both of you will still have that equally hot water. All right, and then of course, if things stop working, check the simple stuff first. That is the fuse for this. So, all right, don't put anything here that would melt or that would block this exhaust, because that exhaust is very hot, very hot. And right next to it is the exhaust for your furnace. So this whole area right here, don't put anything over here that would block either one of these, because it needs to vent. Okay, so here we have one of your slide outs. This is a racket pinion slide out. So the rubber going around all your slide outs, take a rubber conditioner. You're going to spray it. It's going to foam up. You wipe it. And then down here, the teeth that the tracks are on, they take a dry lube, like a silicone or a lithium-based grease. The manufacturer, Forest River, they're going to tell you to do this every 90 days. You're good 90 days from today on all of that kind of stuff because it's a brand new unit. But after that, you're going to want to check it and just please use that stuff, either the silicone or the lithium on those tracks. We just don't want you using WD-40. Okay, down here is the drain for your black and gray tank that was up front, the pool's up front. That's for this bathroom that's up front. We have a second one down here. This one here is for that half bath. And then here you have, unscrew that, and in there is where the pulls are for your black and your gray. All right. Put that back on there. Okay, so there's that. And when I'm done, of course, I'll put the caps back on both of your sewer outlets. Over here, we've just got your storage. This is going to be where I put your cord, and that's your cord. It's 50 amps. The only way you're going to be able to run both AC units is if this is plugged into 50 amps. If you have to reduce it to 30, you can use one AC. You have a main AC, and then the bedroom one is separate. All right, up here, you are prepped for a backup camera, and you're also prepped for a Lippert on-the-go ladder. You can scan the QR code for the ladder, and it'll take you to the Lippert website. And it's a telescoping ladder. I think they sell them, it's a 10, 12, 14, and 16-foot ladders. And they go all the way, they hook on there, and they go all the way down to the ground, which is nice. The backup camera is a Furrion. That's what it's prepped for. So if you choose to get that, it's a very, very easy install. It's like a 10-minute install, if that. The hardest part of that camera is not dropping the screws because they're tiny. But everything's there that you need to put that on. All right, moving around here, you have a refrigerator out here. Now this refrigerator is electric only, and it only works when you're plugged in. This one's not going to run on the battery like the one inside will. Okay, so don't put food in here and expect it to stay cold if you're going on a long trip. All right, this bar here, you have a griddle that hooks right onto this, and then you have an LP Quick Connect down here. I don't know if I can see it. I'm not gonna be able to get it on camera, I'm sorry, but it's right there. You'll be able to connect to your Quick Connect to your propane up front for that griddle that hooks on right there. All right, and then you've got the door to your half bath. Okay, goes right on in there. We love the half baths right here with the door. It just makes it so much better for people to just run in here and use the bathroom instead of going through the whole camper. And then you've got your steps, of course. These new steps, well, they're not new anymore, but we do love these. You've got this slide out again with the rubber. The tracks get sprayed down as well. I think that's almost it here. So you do have a spray port here you can hook your hose to. And if you're gonna bring a TV outside, you can hook up to cable here and plug it in. You can bring all of your cables and stuff up through here so you can still shut this door. This is a tire monitor system. I got it on now just to be sure that your tire pressure is good to go. And so far it is. It reads the temperature and the tire pressure. And over here is your battery disconnect. Right now I have the disconnect on because we're plugged in. While you're plugged in, if this is on, the Shore Power will trickle charge your battery. If you're going to put it in storage and it's not going to be plugged in, we're going to want to turn that off just so that the things inside don't run your battery down. And of course we have your light. I'm going to put that one on motion detect as well. Okay, and then here is your propane. So you have an automatic switch over here. The automatic switch over, right now it's red because these have been off for a while. So I'm going to turn it on, and that's going to flip to green. Make sure you're opening the LP all the way, okay? The water heater needs the full strength of the propane to run the correct way. So turn that on. If you leave the other one off, you can manually turn this over there to draw off the other one. However, most people will leave that off. That way when this one runs out, you'll know that that one's empty, but you still have this one. If you leave both on, when this one runs out, this will automatically flip over and draw off the other one. And it's really up to you on how you're going to want to do that. It all depends on how cold it gets at night, right? Nobody wants to run out of heat and get up to go turn the propane on at 2 o'clock in the morning if you run out of propane. Okay. The steps, very easy. There is a strut in here that's going to assist you to put the steps up in the door. You do want to make sure you hold onto the handle when it's going up because it will get away from you and it'll slam the steps up into the doorway. So just make sure you're keeping a hold of the handle when the door goes up. If I had more than one hand right now, I would show you how that worked. When you walk in, I'm going to shut your door because I have your AC running. It's hot today. Okay, when you walk in, the first thing that you see really is going to be your water heater. So this is on. And they've got it set at 113. I'm going to go ahead and turn that up a little bit. Yeah, 124 is as high as it goes. So right now it's showing you that the power is on. It's on Fahrenheit. I'm going to turn on your hot water here in the kitchen, and then I'll come back over here and show you what this is doing. Okay, so let's go over here. This is such a pretty camper too. Push that over. Now, oh, water pump would be awesome. That would really help get the water where I want it to go. There we go. Okay, so the water's running. And so this, the light where the flame was, the light came on, and that's how hot it's getting out there. That's what's going to be delivered to the sink. It's going to fluctuate in the beginning, just it's pulling water out of the fresh tank. And it's up to 120, 122, 124. So what I want you guys to do every now and again, I do want you to pay attention that it's reaching the temperature that you set it at and holding that temperature. If it goes up a degree, down a degree, that's very normal. But right now it looks like it's holding it really well. The water flow going through must be pretty good. If by chance this doesn't go, say you do put it at 120, 115 is a normal household setting, but say you like it super hot, so you have it at 120, and it won't go past 113. Chances are the water's running through that water heater too fast, and you'll want to go out there and dial back the pressure going through it so that it has the chance to heat up. I hope that's making sense. All right, so we're going to go over here, turn the water off. Looks like that's doing good. Okay. You have a light switch here. That's going to be for your light on the steps. And then this here is for your ceiling fan. Okay. Right below that, you have your breakers right here. And everything's labeled right there next to all the breakers. It's labeled at the factory, so, you know, hopefully they've labeled it correctly. Things stop working. This, of course, is going to be your go-to along with your fuses. And your fuses are back there under that step. The door's open on it now. I'm gonna shut that when we're done, but there's your fuses. You have a bunch of different kinds, mostly 15s, a couple of 3s, a 10. You're just gonna wanna keep an assortment with you at all times. If one of your fuses blow, a red light's gonna come on next to it to let you know which one to pull. So your breaker box is here. Your fuses are right underneath that step right there. Hi, Jen.
Hi, Penny. I hope you love your new RV.
She wanted to say hi to you. She said you were so nice. Okay, so here we have your thermostat. This is a Coleman thermostat, so it's real super easy to use. You click it, it wakes it up. You click it again, and then you can start turning the dial. I have it on the cool plus heat setting because that happens to be my favorite setting. But it goes from off to cool to heat, cool plus heat, and dry cool. So you can decide whichever one you want. So if you just want it on cool just for the AC, click again. And then if you want to set your temperature, just start turning the knob and you can set your temperature. It's 83 degrees in here right now. Now if I had to say there was a downside to this thermostat, it's not the thermostat itself, it's the placement, because it's right next to the door, right there. So it's reading the temperature, and people opening and shutting the door is gonna cause a temperature on this to go up, which is gonna cause your AC to keep running, because it's trying to reach the temperature. So just keep that in mind. It says it's 83 degrees in here, but it is not. It's not 83 degrees in here. It's because the door being open, I've opened and shut this door several times myself just before doing this video. But anyway, there's that. You also have your Max Air fan, and that is right here above where your TV is. It's already got a cover over it, so you don't have to worry about if it rains and that's left open. You don't have to worry about all that. You can just leave it open. It's not going to hurt anything. And then we shut the fan off. And then you have some light switches, and you'll figure out where all these switches go to. I mean, you know, they don't label anything, so you just have to figure it out as you go, I guess. You have outlets throughout this whole thing that have charging ports on them. They have a C port and USB on most of the outlets in this whole camper, including on both sides of your bed. Here is your monitor panel. So you've got your black 1 and 2, gray 1 and 2, your galley, and then your, fresh tank, the H2O is your fresh tank, and then your battery. So right now we do have about 1/3 in your tank. Again, I'm gonna dump that when we're done. The rest of your tanks are empty because I emptied them. Now it says black 1 or 2 because you have to select it here. So right now it's flipped up to black 1, the black 2, gray 2. Black 1 and gray 1 are the bathroom upstairs, your main bathroom. Black 2 and gray 2 are the half bath. All right, so you just have to flip it down if you want to check how full those are. And then you've got heated holding tanks. Each one of your holding tanks have a heat pad on them. If it's going to be cold, close to freezing, you're going to want to turn those on. There's no promise you won't freeze up, but it will reduce the chances of it if you turn those on. And then you have your water pump. I've got it on because I'm pulling water out of your fresh tank to the sinks and stuff just to show you that things work. And then they do have some light switches here that are labeled, which is nice. And then you have awning 1 and 2. You've got 2 awnings out there. And then these are for each one of your slide outs. Okay. All right. These things here, you can download stuff just, for the RV owners and to Lippert. There's a lot of information on those QR codes if you choose to scan those in. You got soft closed doors on everything and soft closed drawers on everything, which I love. If things are being slammed shut, it's on purpose. Somebody's mad. Here we have your pantry, which is really nice. It's a very nice pantry. I believe that's light switch here. Yeah, light switch on the side here is how you turn that on and off. Okay. You have your booth dinette. It's in the down position. The legs to your table are underneath this here. That's where it's stored at. That's your griddle that goes outside. It's got the bag that it's sitting on. The couch that you have here is a tri-fold, so it folds all the way out to make a full-size bed. 2 adults could sleep on this bed with no problem. Around here, we've got your TV on. Right now, we are simply running off of the antenna. We don't have cable or anything here. This does a really good job of picking up signal. You have an antenna boost, which is in your bedroom, in the main bedroom up front, and I'll show you that when we get there. But it picks up usually 10 to 15 stations just sitting right here. Just remember, if you're paying for satellite or cable or anything else other than watching the antenna, you turn that antenna booster off, or else you will only ever get antenna stations if it's left on. So that's one of the big calls they get at a campground, is that you're not getting the cable that you're paying for. Here, you have your JBL radio. You have zones A and B. So I don't know if you're going to be able to hear it or not. All right, so A is inside, and then your B are outside speakers. You can do one or the other or both. It doesn't matter. You can listen to both at the same time or just one at a time. And it does have a remote, and it's in your bag that is in one of your drawers here. The fireplace I have on just for the look of it. Of course, you can change the way it looks. The little light button here, if you push that, you can change the color of it. And if you put it up past 99 for the temperature, it'll turn the fan off, and it'll be just for the look of it. You can set a timer on it. If you just want it on for a couple of hours to knock the chill out of the air, you can certainly do that. It's an electric heater, so it doesn't use any propane. We love the fireplaces because they really help a lot. All right. And then moving around, you got your island here. We love your extension. That is so nice. It makes a big difference too. Your sink, you have your farm sink here. And turn this on. It's got a sprayer on it. All right. Around here, you have more pantry space. Again, we love the soft close. Love it, love it, love it. You've got a big microwave here. It's a residential microwave. And naturally, you've got a pretty decent size stove and oven here. With this, you have light switch here that turns the control lights on and off. And this one does the oven underneath. Here, with this, you're just going to push it in and hold it, and it fires up. Now, when you get it, there may be some, see what just happened there? That's probably what's going to happen to you the first time you go to turn this on. It's just going to have some air in the line. Okay, turn those off. And same way with underneath. The only thing is with this, it's all the way in the back under there. I don't know if you're even going to be able to see it, but I am going to try to fire it up. Up here, you're going to push it in and hold it, the flame to the little dot right there. Now this is not going to fire up as quick. Oh, it did. I'm a liar. It did fire up fast. All right, the pilot light's already lit all the way down there. So turn it on temperature, and now it's fired up. That is not normal. Normally, you have to hold that in for much longer than what I just did. And I didn't fire this up ahead of time. So maybe these are going to be better than what they used to be. So, and then you have a drawer underneath here. Okay. All right. And then you've got your refrigerator. You see how big that is? This is why you're going to get about 2 days out of a battery. This is a huge refrigerator. So I'll show you where we're at on that. Okay. And then when I'm done today, I'm going to lock it up and put the strap so that these doors don't go flying open during travel. And then you got another freezer here. So that drawer and this drawer are your freezers. And that strap, this here is going to go in there. And then that strap's going to go around that to lock it down for you. Okay, you have an ABC extinguisher there. Hopefully you'll never need it, but if you did, it should put out whatever fire might come up at a campground. I think I'm going to, we'll go to the bunk room next and the half bath, and then we'll go upstairs to your room. You've got more storage. The storage in here is so good. Now, your main AC is this one, and it's so quiet. As a matter of fact, when I first plugged this in and opened everything up and turned your AC on, I was actually afraid something was wrong with the thermostat because I didn't hear the AC kick on. It's on right now. It's pushing through the ductwork, so it's doing a really good job, and it's so quiet. I'm so happy it's quiet. You got your queen bed here, and then you got your loft up there. There's the ladder for the loft. Got some light switches there, of course. And then you have your half bath that we saw when we were outside. But it's good. You've got a medicine cabinet and a sink, and then your toilet, which is porcelain. Nice. I'm going to stick my phone up here just so you can see the loft area a little bit better. There. Okay, you got your closet, and again, you've got the outlets that have the charging stations on them. Okay, all right, now we're going to go up to the bathroom and bedroom upstairs. I'm sorry I've only got my phone that I'm doing a video on. I know that a lot of people probably don't like it, but it's what I got. It's what I'm working with. Here is your bedroom. We love your bedroom. It's got a big old king size bed, 72 by 80. So if you want to shop for sheets now's the time to do it. Here's that same thermostat as what's down there. All right, but this one only does your AC here in the bedroom, but it is ducted, so it's not just a blow down for the bedroom. So again, we can click it again, go to cool. Well, it says dry cool, hold on. Cool, click, and now it's on. There's your AC. If you want the room to cool down quickly, you can do this on the other one too. This is a dump down, so you can open both of these up and it'll cool the room down really fast. Don't leave it open too long. These are really only meant to be open about 15 or 20 minutes. If you leave those open too long, the intake is here on both sides. Your filter is in here that you want to keep clean, but it's also the intake. So if this is left open, it will suck this right back in and freeze up your compressor. And then your compressor will freeze. It'll have a big ball of ice around it. The only way to fix that is to turn it off and let it melt. And you don't want to have to do all that. So just leave that shut unless the room's really hot and you want it to cool down really fast. Other than that, now we've got this AC unit on and the one in the bunk room. The one in the bunk room, again, remember, is your main AC unit. That's the one that's going to do the whole camper. So if you could only have one running, that's the one you want to have on. This one's also ducted too. So right now, both of your AC units are running through the ductwork together, which is really, really helpful on those really hot days. You don't just have one just solely for the bedroom. It's for the whole camper, both of them, through the ductwork. We love it. In here, you have the King Wi-Fi extender. So you'll be able to boost the signal on the Wi-Fi at a campground. It actually does 4 devices. There's one more of these that were in your bag. I think, well, there is one more of these. I'll figure out where it goes. It does go on here though, because it does do up to 4 devices. So if you have phones, laptop, whatever that you want to boost the signal on, you can connect to your King and it will have its own password. So no one else can jump on your Wi-Fi extender unless you give them the password. All right. The lights in here are by hand, so you have to turn those on and off by hand. Please make sure that these doors are locked in place when you travel. If you don't, you're going to be really mad at yourself because these doors will come off the track and cause a lot of damage. The lock for this one is on the floor down there, and then the lock for this one's right here. On this side of your closet is where your washer and dryer prep is. You can put a stackable washer and dryer in here. If you have to take this out, but it will hold a stackable. Just remember, if you do end up putting one in here, if you're going to be someplace that gets below freezing in the winter, make sure you're winterizing where the washer hooks into. All right? And I'll make sure everything's buttoned up and locked up before I close it up. Okay? Let's see. The storage under the bed has the struts on it to hold it up so it doesn't have to be a two-man job anymore. We love that. And the next stop is the bathroom. I'm going to turn this one off, the AC, because I've only plugged into 30 amps here. Okay, the bathroom. The bathroom's nice. So, you have a nice big shower here. It's so nice. We love it. It's got the bamboo seat there. And you've actually got a nice shower head. Most of the time, the first two things people replace in a camper are the mattresses and the shower heads. This one, I don't think you have to change a shower head unless you just don't like it, but it's nice. It's big. Of course, you've got your sink and your your sink and your mirror, and you got a little bit of storage here. Got some above your toilet here, towel holder, and again with the porcelain toilet. The fan here, here on the wall is how you turn that on and off. And this has the open and close, but you can just leave it open. It is not going to hurt a thing staying open. Okay, so turn that off. And I think that's about it. I know I kind of went through this a little bit fast, but if I'm not mistaken, this is not your first trailer. So you've definitely had, I don't know if you had a fifth wheel before, but you've definitely had a camper before. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to give me a call. I'm going to put my card in here for you so that you have someone to contact if you have any questions, okay? So hopefully this was good for you. All right, one more run through of everything. I'm amazed at how quiet that AC unit is. Normally they're so loud. All right, see how pretty she is. All right, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, give me a call, okay? We'll see you later. Bye.